This episode of WhysAdvice is sponsored by Health IQ, an insurance company that helps health-conscious people like runners, cyclists, weightlifters, and vegetarians get lower rates on their life insurance. Go to healthiq.com/DAG to support the show and see if you qualify.
FatDag is a Weight Watchers leader in Indianapolis, Indiana. However, the views and opinions expressed during this podcast are his own. They do not represent the views of Weight Watchers. And now, here's your host and wingman, FatDag.
I am your host, FatDag, and you're listening to WhysAdvice. My weight loss journey failed when I focused on how. It wasn't until I switched my focus to why that I truly transformed myself. Join the show on the web at FatDag.com and follow along on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, all at WhysAdvice. Send in your comments, your questions, your celebrations. I'll include them as part of the show. But before we dive in, remember, when you're out of points, stop eating points. Hey, I'm honored to be your wingman as we walk through this journey together because I believe in you. Well, hello there. Welcome to episode 168 of WhysAdvice, and always good to be here. Thanks again for tuning in. Thanks for keeping me at the top of your playlist as you work on your focus, as you work on getting it done, as you work on changing your life. You've figured out that what it takes is a constant reminder that you can get it done. This is just one tool in your toolbox to help you with that focus, to help you stay just in the right mindset to get it done. Continue to tune in. Continue to reach out to the Facebook group, the Wise Wingman Facebook group. Continue to post in there and find the accountability that you need. Stay plugged in to connect. Whatever you have to do to get it done is why we're here. If you know why you're doing this, I said in the opening of the show, my weight loss journey failed when I focused on how. It failed a bunch of times when I focused on how. It wasn't until I figured out that if I focused on why, then I could have the success that I had always dreamed of. You can have that same level of success. You got to tap into your why. You got to figure out, why are you here? Why do you stay plugged in every day? Why are you listening to this podcast? Why do you wake up every single morning and open your app, post on Connect? Why do you track what you eat? Why are you doing this? And you got to ask yourself that often enough so that you truly understand why. And then you ask yourself, as you go out the course of your day, as you set out to change the world, is what I'm doing? Is what I'm eating? Does that align with the goals that I've set for myself? Does it help me get closer to my goal, or does it push me further from my goal? Out of Rochester, New York, Nancy writes in response to the email newsletter that I send out. She says, "Hi, Mike. Thanks for checking in with me. I need a little boost now and then to keep my focus. You asked us to update you on how we're doing, so I'll do just that. First, let me thank you for your podcast. They are crucial to maintaining my focus. I need a daily dose of support to stay with the program and to avoid the complacency trap. This is my third time through Weight Watchers, and I have been very successful each time. However, I quit before reaching goal, and I gained the weight back. This time, I'm determined to stay with the program for life. I'm 65 years old and I've recently retired. We are empty nesters, so I have no excuse as to why I can't make time for the program. I joined our local YMCA and I take full advantage of as many silver sneaker programs as I can. I admit it was very challenging at first, but I now enjoy going to the Y 6 days a week, taking classes and making new friends who are also interested in living our golden years as fully as we can with good health, strength, and balance. This time around, I joined Weight Watchers on May 30th, after returning from a retirement trip to Province. I saw myself in pictures and was disappointed with myself. I had been exercising for a few months, but as we all know, exercise alone won't do it. So since it had worked in the past, I rejoined Weight Watchers. As of today, I'm down 51.7 pounds. I am off blood pressure medicine and statins. I now take only one medication, and that's for my thyroid. I had half removed a few years ago for some nodules. I lose just as the program suggests, 1 to 2 pounds each week. I eat my weeklies, but I leave my Fit Points alone, figuring that they allow me to compensate for those meals out where I'm not really sure of the point values. Now that I've reached this weight loss point, I admit I was very concerned that complacency trap would hit. It has hit in the past. I have a very athletic older brother who loves to travel. He was discussing with me his next trip and asking if I knew anyone who would like to join him on a bike and barge trip in France. I asked my friends, all the while thinking, man, I wish I could do that. After thinking it over, talking it over with my husband, he has health issues and travels with a wheelchair, I'd said I'd really like to go on this trip. It's a goal that will keep me pushing myself to a healthier weight and fitness level. If I get complacent, I will not be able to keep up with the group. Oh God, how embarrassing would that be? So I'm signed up to go biking in Paris in May. I live in the snow belt of upstate New York, so riding outside now is not something that I can do. I've added an exercise bike routine to the Y 3 times a week, and I joined an early morning spin class on Saturday. I have set this trip as my goal to keep going with the program. I have another 25 pounds to drop. I feel great, and I'm now getting compliments, but I can't get complacent. I want to get to goal. I want to get to lifetime, and I want to maintain it. This trip is my carrot to keep me on the right track to lifetime. So that's my update. I feel great. I have no aches or pains. I'm healthier now than I've been in years. I have many reasons that I could call myself a turtle, my age, my thyroid, etc. But I know that if I follow the program works. So thank you for all that you do. The WhysAdvice Wingman are my cheering team. You keep us motivated with daily podcasts. Connect support is there too, but I am ever so grateful for your daily dose of inspiration, advice, and encouragement. Thanks for helping me keep my focus. Nancy out of Rochester, New York. Nancy, what a fun opportunity you have. And how cool is it that you're down 51.7 pounds off your blood pressure medicine? Now only you've gotten back to one medicine. You've now regained health benefits. You've gained everything that you had previously given up because of your weight. And you finally said, I am going to take control and get it done. You're absolutely right. This program works if you follow it. Now, granted, we all know that if you following it part, that is the hardest part. You have learned as you've done this that you can be successful each and every time, but you have quit before reaching your goal. This time, I'm very glad to see that you are determined to stay with the program for life. It's that old saying that if we keep doing what we're doing, expecting to get different results, that is the definition of insanity. As you've worked through this program, you have figured out how to break that cycle, and you now know to get different results, you have to do something different, and that is that determination to stay with the program for life. The reason you keep rejoining is because as complacency sets in, as you for whatever reason get derailed from the program, you come back to this program because you know the program works. You absolutely would not continue to pay and use and follow a program if you were convinced it didn't work. No, it's just the opposite. Because you're convinced it does work, that is what allows you to come back. But as we all know, is as the program works, we become complacent. We fall into this routine. We think we can do it on our own. Something takes over. We quit doing it. And then at some point, we know the program works. So that is why we come back. How cool is it that you now are setting fitness goals to continue you working down this path? It all starts from you at the very beginning, going to the why 6 days a week. That attendance goal mindset is that's the whole thing that's enabling you to go on this trip to France. Had you started back then, burning out at the gym, you would probably be out of that routine by now, and this trip would not be a possibility. Your attendance goal is the reward. That is what you have done. The reward is this trip. Continue on with your attendance goals. Continue doing everything that you're doing. I love that this trip becomes a carrot for you, and you now are now working new goals into your attendance goal. We call those now performance goals because you've already built the habit of going. So I love what this looks like. What's next? Right? You have another 25 pounds to drop. You absolutely are going to do that. I have no doubt in my mind that you can do it. I know this trip will be a huge motivator for you. Certainly have the opportunity to hang out with your brother in that environment. That's going to be a lot of fun. When this trip comes close and when this trip winds down, I want you to start looking for what is next. You feel great. You have no aches and pains. You're healthier now than you've been in years. That is all you getting it done. You want to maintain that. I want you to take a note of that. I want you someplace special, write that sentence down, more so than in the email that you sent me, because I want you, the next time you start thinking that you can do this on your own, that maybe you have it, that maybe you think complacency might be setting in, I want you to read that piece again. I want you to know that you were able to make that change. It's because you got rid of the complacency, you set a goal, you continued to monitor, you are working the program perfectly. Nancy, you've got it. Your cheering team knows that. Your cheering team will cheer you on. You've plugged into the right motivation. You're absolutely a rock star as you get it done. Enjoy your trip to Paris. You have earned it, you deserve it, and you're absolutely going to have an amazing time. Health IQ uses science and data to secure lower rates on life insurance for health-conscious people like runners, cyclists, strength trainers, vegans, and more. 56% of Health IQ customers save between 4 and 33% on their life insurance. Health IQ can save their customers up to 33% because physically active people have a 56% lower risk of heart disease, a 20% lower risk of cancer, and a 58% lower risk of diabetes compared to people who are inactive. 70% of their exclusive rate clients get approved at the top tier rate class. Health IQ is the fastest growing life insurance company with over $5 billion in coverage. Like saving money on your car insurance for being a good driver, Health IQ saves you money on your life insurance for living a health-conscious lifestyle. These savings are exclusive to Health IQ, and you must qualify to get the special rate. You can qualify for up to 33% savings by using one or more of the following methods. You can take a Health IQ quiz and you can score elite, or having a membership to a qualifying association or gym for more than a year. I've actually checked it out myself. The quote came in at a lower rate than my current policy. I've gone through the process of getting screened and had my blood drawn. Talking with Ryan at Health IQ made it so easy to get the process started. To see if you qualify, get your free quote today at healthiq.com/dag. Life insurance companies calculate your policy rates based on your nearest age, not your actual age, and rates increase as you get older. Lock in the best rate possible by getting a free quote today. Visit healthiq.com/dag. From Facebook, Whitney writes in, says, what does Weight Watchers recommend as a healthy serving of 0-point foods during the day? Fruits and vegetables, lean proteins, etc. I usually need 6 ounces of chicken to feel full. Also, is it true or not that you should count 0-point foods as point values when you use them in recipes? I have this flourless chocolate cake recipe that I love, but the meaning of 0-point foods was to encourage eating them plain. In other words, those free black beans I use in the cake, I could really eat a few slices. So I feel like they ought to count. Whitney, I think you've answered your own question. And the guidelines are there for you to figure out on the 0-point food list is you're supposed to eat until you're satisfied. If you're eating until you're full, oftentimes in my case, that's a little bit too much. And once I realize I'm full, if I'm still eating as I'm full, the next 10, 15 minutes after that is not fun either. So I want to eat until I'm satisfied. But the whole reason for fruits and vegetables and lean proteins, all that, and to be 0 points is for you to be able to build that healthy foundation, work them into your meal. Whether you put it in a recipe or not, you're going to have to figure out what works for you as you work it. Now, if you add it to a recipe, yes, if it's still food, go ahead and count it as a 0-point food. Track it if you want. Don't track it if you don't want. But, we're not encouraging you to sit there and eat the stuff plain, just by the bagful. That's not it. So I want you to get creative with your food. I want you to mix it all in. Adding that to your food should absolutely increase your, or decrease your hunger level. It should start keeping you satisfied longer, and that enables you to stay with the plan longer and stay with it. You've got to figure out what works for you. The only way to do that is to get really serious about tracking, get really serious about following the plan as it's currently designed. Test it for 6, 8 weeks, whatever it is. Find out if you like the results. If you like the results, keep doing what you're doing. If you want to count them, by all means count them. But the whole purpose of freestyle is to get you away from that mindset. Sherry writes in also with freestyle and says, with freestyle, are we expected to add in a couple servings of 0-point proteins daily? I've been staying under my 23 points, but some days I don't have any 0-point foods other than fruits and vegetables. I know previously, if I didn't eat all my points, I wouldn't lose as much. So I'm wondering, if I don't make it a point to eat more of the new 0-point foods every day, could that cause me to stall? Sherry, just like we addressed with Whitney, is again, the whole purpose of the 0-point food list is that is the foundation of a healthy diet. That's the food that we say, if you're eating from this list, you're starting your day, you're starting your meal off, in a healthy, generally healthy mindset on foods that we aren't likely to overeat. So continue just to experiment with them. If you're able to eat 23 points a day and not eating much from the 0-point list, then now slowly add them in and see if that helps you throughout the course of the day. It gives you more energy. It decreases the hunger feeling, but you clearly are on the right path. You have this figured out. You're obviously getting lots of fruits and vegetables. That's a good thing. Let your weight loss determine how you react next. If you like the number on the scale, keep doing what you're doing. If you're not getting the real results you want, mix it up. That's the importance of the tracker, is that you can figure out what you're mixing it up, how you're mixing it up, and get it done. Janice asked me, hey, Mike, can we talk about the weekends? I do good eating and my steps until my husband is home Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm not saying it's his fault. It's just that the times I'm more tempted not to go make good choices are usually at parties, church activities, or just busy time. I feel all the good that I do gets undone on the weekends. I feel like a failure and just really, really get upset with myself because I really do want to be consistent. My husband has no weight issues. It may sound funny, but one thing I can really do right is to overeat. Can you also share with me your thoughts on fats in our diet? I feel when I eat less carbs and sugar and more fats and protein and the good vegetables, I'm satisfied longer and I don't have as many cravings or feel as satisfied. I'm interested in your thoughts, please. I appreciate you. My son, Jake, at age 21, is joining the Army, goes to boot camp January 22nd. He's going to become a scout. Thank you for your service. God bless, Joyce. Joyce, first off, hats off to your son. Big salute out to him. Thank you for joining the United States Army. Good luck at boot camp. You'll do very well. But just like everything else, it also takes a little bit of focus too. So good luck to you, Jake. Keep doing us proud. Thank you so much. But now, Joyce, here is the deal. You're right. The weekends for so many of us are a challenge. Typically, and what that means is usually we have a routine that we do. That routine is what helps us. The more we can stay in the routine, the more we can get it done because we just wake up, we follow a plan, the plan ends, we go to bed, we wake up the next day, we follow the plan ends, we go to bed, and we, wash, repeat, and rinse and repeat, and we just absolutely get it done. Well, then the weekend comes, and for a lot of us, that whole routine is different. In your case, your husband comes home for the weekend, you spend all weekend, he probably wants to go out and do things. This is where I become a fan of the blue dots. The blue dots really teach you to eat consistently. You're about the same amount of food, about the same quantity throughout the course of the week. And if you focus on that, it gives you an opportunity to make some healthier choices. It gives you a chance to really evaluate what you're doing. It kind of gives you a tool to help you stay a little better focused than just the actual point numbers alone. Staying focused on the weekends is the most critical part of this journey. I don't believe the journey and the program work very well if you only did it 5 days a week. I think if you did it 5 days a week and in every weekend you overate on Saturday and Sunday, whether either intentionally or inadvertently, I think that's just enough to keep the addictions alive. It's just enough to keep your weight teetering around. If you want true results, you need to be plugged in 7 days a week. This needs to be priority number one on Monday and on Sunday and every day in between, because as you allow yourself on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to drift off the plan, you can overeat to an extent where you really are. You're right. You're undoing everything you work for all week. If you want to maintain, that may work. But if you're working to change your life and you want to change your habits and you want to, get rid of some of these bad food habits and bad food addictions that we've just brought into our life, the way to do that is to stay focused through the weekend. Use those blue dots to kind of guide you. It's a point range. It's -10 to +5 of your dailies. If you really have to, use your rollovers, but what I really want you to do is I want you to stay focused on the plan throughout the course of the weekend to get it done. When you get it done, we reach out and we celebrate. What is it that you're celebrating? Let's share it on the air. Go to FatDag.com, click on WhysAdvice Podcast. Send in your celebrations, your comments, your questions. I'll work them in as part of the show. I want you to email in because I really want you to be proud of what you're doing. Besides that, the show revolves around you and your story. Without your email, we have nothing to talk about on the air, but I want you to write in because I want you to really dig into your journey, admit your success, be proud of your success, share your success with the entire world, so that they too will know that this journey is possible, this journey is doable, and we together are getting it done. Well, that's going to do it for this time. Remember, losing weight and getting healthy has nothing to do with luck. You have to remain disciplined and focused. Set your sights on your goal and go after it. I wish you good focus. Thank you for listening to the WhysAdvice podcast. Did you know for as little as $1 a month, you can take the next step as a wingman and support the show? Visit FatDag.com, click on Become a Patron today.